Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is Pokemon Fire Red, as mentioned. My name is Werster, and oh my goodness, this is already on red battery. Can I please have a GameCube controller?
Solid Star.
Oh, have you got an essay? Yeah, beautiful. Aeon to the rescue. Everybody hand for Aeon. Yes! Yeah. I'm sure between the two of them we'll make it. Huh? Looks good. Okay, well, I'm glad that happened before the run started instead of 20 minutes in. All right. Okay, are we ready to go?
Ready when you are, mate.
Okay, let's count it in. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so as mentioned, this is Pokemon Fire Red, any percent Manipulus. First, I'm just going to focus on getting the names in correctly, because we had a donation incentive for the trainer name, the rival name, and the Squirtle name, and whether to pick a boy or a girl. So boy or a girl matters a lot in different Pokemon speedruns. In this one, it doesn't matter too much, so we're fine with picking a girl, and the name is March, M-A-R-C-H. Yep, beautiful. And the rival was Werster with a lowercase w. The correct Werster. W, you'd think I'd know how to spell my own name. Yep, beautiful. Okay. So this category, as I mentioned, this is going to be any percent Manipulus. So Manipulus just means not using any RNG manipulation. So with this game, there are some external tools that you can use to RNG manipulate getting a really good Squirtle. It's very difficult to do. And so you use a program that you'll have on a computer where if you input your trainer ID, it can tell you if you wait exactly 1 minute and 28 seconds and 40 frames, and then select your Squirtle, you get really good stats. But I'm not going to be doing any of that in this run. I don't like using external programs. I consider it quite dishonest gameplay. But luckily, there's always a Manipulus category that you can run. And for this run, I'm just going to take any Squirtle that I get. So all Pokemon in the game can have slightly different stats. So they've all got IVs, which is a number between 0 to 31. Which just determines how strong a stat is. And then Pokemon have natures as well, which can increase a stat by 10% and decrease a different stat by 10%. And so for Squirtle, the most important stat is special attack. So I do not want to have a minus special attack nature. That's the most important thing. I can get through the run with anything, but I've never run with a really bad Squirtle, because when I'm doing attempts, obviously I want a bit better than average. So even if it's completely average, that's going to be worse than I've ever done before. So we might have some interesting moments. So the reason I'm picking Squirtle is it's simply the best of all of the Pokemon that I can use for the start of the game. Because it learns a water move quite early, it's the best choice for Brock, and from that point onwards, it's just okay at beating everything else. Bulbasaur is really bad because Grass is just a very bad type. But yeah, okay, we'll get an idea on my stats pretty early. So the first one I can see is I can only see 19 health. That's not good. That means my health is bad. My speed is good. Oh, well, it's probably good. My attack is awful, I think. And I just got crit. That's not a good start. I'm going to go Tail Whip because I think my attack's really bad. He's got an extra dialogue box here just telling me about stats. He only does that in the first battle, which is generally why you would try to avoid using Tail Whip. But I think my attack's bad, so I'm just going to go. It looks like I'm beating him on speed, which means I have good speed. I'm going to Potion. This is really slow because he's got so many extra dialogue boxes here. But Bulbasaur was doing 3, and I would be dead in one more hit. Do not want this. See, there's an extra dialogue box. This is why you really don't want to use a Potion in this fight. So the main stat I'm going to be looking at when I level up is special attack. If I see 12, that's good. If I see 11, that's okay. Less than 11, really bad. 13 would be amazing, but that's not going to happen. Like, don't even worry about that. 12, okay. Yeah, so that's good. My speed was also 12, which means my nature is plus speed. I didn't see my other stats. I wasn't really paying attention, but it's minus something. So I have a really fast Squirtle and it's actually got good special attack, this Squirtle would actually be passable for an attempt. It's actually a very good Squirtle, so that's actually pretty lucky. Oh, this girl's here. So that... She's actually never there in a run because you open the menu to check your stats, and she's telling you to open the menu, so I actually should have still opened the menu. But anyway, I'm going to pick up this potion here because I used the first one in the first fight. At the start here, if I do get an encounter and it's level 3 or below, I'll probably actually take it out for experience. And now that I have good special, I'm actually going to run away from this. Pidgeys are worse to kill than Rattatas. I'll kill a level 3 Rattata, but not a level 3 Pidgey this early. If it's a bit late, I'll probably take out the level 3 Pidgey. But because I've got to go through this grass quite a few times, I'm going to get another encounter. Almost certainly. So I'm just going up here. I'm going to get Oak's Parcel and then deliver it back. So the reason I kind of want a little bit of experience is it'll get me to level 8 before I enter Brock's gym, and it'll get me to level 13 after I exit Brock's gym. So 13 is when Squirtle learns Water Gun, so having Water Gun a fight earlier is really important. And level 8 before Brock's gym allows me to do much more damage to the first trainer in his gym. The way damage works in this game is it takes level into account, not just your stats. And... so every time you get to a level that ends in either 0, 3, 5, or 8, you get a significant damage boost. And it's actually way more than a stat boost would do. So if you've got like, say you've got 14 special attack at level 8, you will do more damage than if you've got 15 special attack but at level 7. Okay, only one encounter so far is actually really good. But yeah, so I mentioned special attack's the most important stat. Every other stat matters, but not that much. So there's not too many extra Pokemon that I might outspeed by having really good speed or wouldn't beat with really low speed. I don't use too many physical attacks, so having low attack doesn't matter that much. So I use Tackle and Mega Kick are the two physical attacks that I use, and everything I use Mega Kick on will die regardless. Except Rival 2's Bulbasaur, which takes 2 hits every time, regardless. And then you do get hit with physical and special attacks, so defense and special defense both matter. But again, not that much. In the optimal scenario, you're just taking things out as fast as possible, so it doesn't really matter how much damage you're taking. Obviously, you want to avoid dying, so higher defense is better. I still don't want to take this out. I'm going to risk it. I think I'm going to get another encounter. The reason I'd rather a Rattata is they're slightly easier or more likely for you to take out in 3 hits. Level 3 Pidgeys generally take 4. I didn't get another encounter. I mean, it's good that I didn't get another encounter in terms of it's faster. It's just, now I look a bit silly for not taking out that level 3 Pidgey. The Rattatas also have Tail Whip, so they can do less damage to you. If they're just spamming Tail Whip, they'll just do no damage. But the Pidgeys only have Tackle, so they always do a bit of damage. And given I lost my first potion in the first battle, I could be light on potions. I could actually run out in Brock's gym, because I don't buy more until after Brock. And so this is just a catching tutorial. Old man's going to show me how to catch a Weedle. This happens even if you have caught Pokemon before you do this fight, which is a bit redundant. But you just got to sit through this. His menuing is quite slow, but there are catching tutorials even further where they do even slower menuing. So coming up after this, I'm actually going to cut through a bit of grass. Obviously, I'm trying to avoid encounters, but the way encounters work in this game is the first few tiles that you go through have only a 1% chance of generating an encounter, and then after that it significantly goes up. I think it's to 12. And the amount of tiles that you have of leeway where it's really low actually depends on the area. So like in a cave, like in Mount Moon, it's like 8 tiles, but outside it's only 5 or maybe 6. And then in different areas it's 7. But the way they do encounters in different Pokemon games, it changes in like every single game. So like if you played Gen 1 and 2, you might have known like the immunity that you'll have after you get an encounter. You can't get one until you've done 3 steps. But that doesn't exist in this game. It's just a lower encounter rate, but it's for more than 3 steps. And then like in Heart Gold Soul Silver, so in the remake of Gen 2, they brought back the immunity for 2 steps. But then in between that, in Diamond and Pearl, they have lower encounter rate as well, but then it alters Like if you're in a cave or if you're in grass, there's different encounter rates, and on different dates, there's different encounter rates. And then in Gen 5, they changed it to the first 2 have a lower encounter rate, then the next 2 still lower, but a little bit more, and then it goes up to the higher encounter rate. I have no idea why they kept changing it for every single game. It's just so unintuitive, and you just would not know unless you actually like dive deep into the mechanics.
Right, while you're fighting that wild Pokemon, we have a $100 donation from Rob CD. Just no comment. Thank you very much for that donation, and I'll let you get back to your next battle.
Yeah, so I'm going to get this potion before this fight as well. There's a hidden potion in the grass here. I try to avoid this one if I can, but again, because I lost that first one, I'm just going to pick it up now. And this is going to be my first trainer battle, and it's with a level 9 Weedle, and I'm still only level 6, so it's actually quite significant upgrade, and this is one of the most cursed fights in the run. So this Weedle has Poison Sting and String Shot, and Poison Sting can poison you, and it's just really bad having to deal with poison damage. Okay, didn't poison me turn 1, I was so ready for it. So I'm going to use Tail Whip once, lower its defense just so my tackle does a lot more. String Shot's good. So I'm just trying to not die, basically. So I'm just trying to take as little damage as possible. The other thing I should mention, so Squirtle's ability is Torrent. And so the way Torrent works is when Squirtle's health is at 1/3 of its max or less, its water-type moves do 50% more damage. So at the moment on my max HP is 21. So if I was at 7, which is exactly 1/3 of 21, or less HP, my water-type moves would do more damage. And that is quite significant in terms of going through the game and doing the run. So I'm not going to have Torrent here, but that's fine. Not a big deal. Good applause. Well done. Okay, defense is really good. That's at 15. Attack, I think, is at 11, which means attack is not good. So it could be minus attack plus speed. I haven't seen special defense yet either. I'm still level 7. That's a Pikachu. Level 5! I might not be able to run away, please. Okay, good. So the way running away works is it's based on your speed. So it's a good thing that I had a really fast Squirtle, and that happened after the Weedle, so I had an extra level. Level 5 Pikachus are very rare. That's the 1% encounter. And they're very fast as well, so they can outspeed you, and because they have electric moves, they can kill you as well. That's actually a really dangerous thing to see the level 5 Pikachu. But yeah, so if you're faster than the wild Pokemon that you see, you can always run away. But if you're slower, it's a coin flip. It gets progressively, they add like a modifier so that you're slightly more likely to be able to run away the more times that you try. But at the start, it's a coin flip, and then it can just be pick Thundershock, you take so much damage, it's over. And you're all the way back to Pallet Town. So I went into the center there and just went out, so just in case I die in these battles, I go back to Pewter, because otherwise I'd go back to Pallet Town, and it's such a slow walk. Yeah, at the moment, by the way, the movement speed is really slow. I'm just walking. I promise you I will be able to run after I beat Brock. I get the running shoes, and I can move twice as fast. I didn't even get that in 2 hits. So at level 8, you can get that in 1 hit, to give you an example of how big the damage boost is. But that is with Torrent as well. It's with the boost. Crit for 1 damage. Classic Pokemon move there. All right, I'll check my special defense here. 16. Okay, it's minus attack. It's definitely minus attack plus speed. My special attack is actually really good too. I saw +2 there, so the IV is actually really nice. So this is actually a very good Squirtle, I would say. Got very lucky there. Sand attack, not good. Obviously the accuracy drop means I could be missing forever. I've got a lot of health though, so I'd have to miss a lot. Defense curl is what you want to see here. That's not going to kill. I'm actually going to switch to Tackle for this last hit. It does have lower accuracy, but I've already had my accuracy lowered, so it's about the same. And that's to avoid super effective text. So every time you're hitting something with a super effective or not very effective move, you get that extra text box, and you want to avoid those where possible. Okay, so level 10 going into Brock. I may not have to heal here at all. So Brock has a Geodude and an Onix. The Geodude's not a threat, but the Onix knows Rock Tomb. The thing is, though, and Rock Tomb's its most significantly like damage-dealing move. It has Tackle, Bind, and Rock Tomb. So Rock Tomb has 50 power, but it's got the same type attack bonus because it's a Rock-type move. So it's effectively 75 power. And then Tackle does the second most, and it's only 35. But it won't use Rock Tomb unless you're faster than it, because Rock Tomb has the property that it reduces your speed, or it will immediately kill you. So at the moment, it's not going to kill me, because I'm at 15 health. But if I go down to 8, it will always be picking Rock Tomb because it can kill me. So I think I want to see tackle 10. Do I risk this? I've got good defense. I'm going to risk it. I'm risking it. I'm risking it. Tackle. Good. Way good. All right. So that'll be a win. That's Brock down. Okay, so this would actually be like really perfect health if I had taken something out before, because I would reach level 13, I would still be in Torrent because my health is really low, and I would learn Water Gun. Unfortunately, because I didn't do that, I don't have Water Gun yet, so I'm not going to be able to take everything out straight away. I'm going to have to use Bubble and kind of get lucky, I guess. You're very rarely actually in Torrent at the start of this route because you get two levels after the Onyx. You get from level 11 to level 13. And as I mentioned, if you're at 10, he can be picking Rock Tomb and kill you. So if you're at really low health, you generally are healing. You have to hope that he hits you into really low health. You've got to be really specific. And that was the perfect amount that I had. I just didn't have the experience, which is a bit of a shame. We'll just see what happens when I get there. All right, so going to go into the mart here. I'm going to buy 6 potions. Down left. 3 antidotes. 3 awakenings. And 5 repels. Yep. Okay. So there's just a neat little trick there when I'm buying the potions. I'm trying to get from 1 to 6, and the way I do that is I press down and then left, because the max amount of potions that I can buy is 16. So if I press down, it goes to 16, and then left takes it down by 10, so it takes it to 6. So that's just the least amount of inputs you can get there. But all right, so then this guy gives me the running shoes. So now if I hold B, I run, and as mentioned, that doubles my movement speed. So it goes from 16 frames per tile to 8 frames per tile. Significantly better. And so now we're on to Route 3. So as mentioned, I do have Torrent here, but I don't have Water Gun, so I'm going to be using Bubble. This first Caterpie is probably going to take 3 hits to die, and I've only got 7 health. I'm basically just hoping it misses me or I crit, because if it picks String Shot, I'm going to be slower. Oh, yes! That's amazing. All right, one more. Do that again. Okay, that's still fine. I'm still alive, and then I'll get the level up, so I should be fine here. Now I'll teach Water Gun, and hopefully with Torrent, I'll be able to just take everything out in one hit with Water Gun. Just going to teach this over Tackle. I don't need that anymore. But if it hit me with the first Tackle, I actually probably would have healed, because Tackle could have done 4. But yeah, if it picks String Shot, oh no. This is risky. I'm risking it. Don't poison me, I'll die. Okay. I will heal before this Caterpie though, because it can kill me, and it's going to be faster than me now that I've been hit by String Shot. So I was basically hoping the other Weedle also picked String Shot. It picked String Shot again after the first one, so it didn't do more damage. So it picked String Shot, so I didn't have to heal, but it was the right decision to take that risk. Because if it had picked Tackle, as you can see, it would have taken me out. So that's a bit of a shame. This is going to be a bit slower throughout Route 3 now, because so all of these next Pokemon, I definitely would have gotten in one hit with Torrent, but I'm not going to get now. And I'm not going to get back into Torrent unless I get poisoned, because I'm just not going to be able to take enough damage here. So this trainer's got Weedle, Caterpie, and then Kakuna, Metapod. And the Kakuna and Metapod only have Harden, so they just can't do damage to me. I'm still just going to use Water Gun though. I might use Bubble to try and save a few Water Gun PPs, because I might run out if I don't. I'm still faster than this Weedle even after a String Shot. My Squirtle is so fast. Yes, I'm very certain it's minus attack plus speed. Jolly. So I'm going to be faster. Oh, sorry. I'm going to be slower than all of these pokes now as well, because I've been hit by 2 String Shots. So just a little bit of time lost, but like for a marathon run, this is fine. I'm just so happy I actually have a good Squirtle, because I would have been so unprepared if I had low special attack for later on in the run. So yeah, you can kind of see with how many bug types that I'm fighting here, the Caterpies, the Weedles, the Kakunas, the Metapods. Grass is just really bad for this game. A lot of people think Bulbasaur would be the best for this run, for the first 2 gyms, because Grass is good against rock and it's good against water. But the problem is, the gyms are 3 battles in the run. Like I did 2 battles in Brock's gym, and then you just go straight to Misty. The rest of the run is all of these bug types and Zubats, which quad resist grass, and Nidorans, which are poison type and resist grass. Grass is just really bad. So Charmander is actually better than Bulbasaur if you were to do this run. It is still worse than Squirtle, but it's closer. It does have, Charmander has a lot more issues with Brock and with Misty, but it's actually, you know, better at beating all of these bugs. Another tackle miss. At least this one didn't string shot, so that's fine. So this is the last trainer on Route 3. After this trainer is going to be what we call a walker, so it's a trainer who walks up and down, and so I'm just trying to dodge them. So I may have to sit there and wait for her to actually look down. So it'll look really silly if I just have to wait there. If she's already looking down, I will open the bag. That'll be tech that you won't see anywhere else in this run. It's actually used quite a lot in Gen 3 speedruns. But the reason you would open the bag, yeah, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to wait for her to look down, is if you open the bag, trainers who move around or spin around can't move for the next 32 frames because it resets their timer. And so it would just mean she can't look up and get me as I'm moving past her. So I'm going to buy this Magikarp here. That's why I didn't spend all my money at the mart, as I'm going to spend $500 to buy this Magikarp. The Magikarp is completely pointless. The reason I'm getting the Magikarp is because for later on in the run, I need a full party. So I need 6 Pokemon, and that is... It's the fastest 6 Pokemon I can get. In the optimal route, you would only get 4 useful Pokemon. And if you're getting 2 other useless pokes, it's actually faster to get 2 Pokemon that you buy with the coin case. But it's faster to get that Magikarp than to get 1 Pokemon with the coin case. It's also a bit safer to get the Magikarp because now I have 2 Pokemon in my party. So if I die, I can use a revive. I don't have a revive yet, but I'm going to get one in Mount Moon. So I'm going to get this Rare Candy and Escape Rope here. I'm using Repels just so I don't get encounters. Pretty obvious move to go for a speedrun. Once you've got Repels, use the Repels. So I've deliberately gone on this path here to load that trainer later so that she's not looking down when I get past her. Going to move over here, and I'm going to fight this hiker on purpose. This is for experience. So the reason I'm doing this is I want level 19 before I fight Misty, because level 19 is when Wartortle learns Bite. And Bite is Dark type, and so in this game, Bite is a special move. So in Gen 1, Bite was a normal type move, so it was physical, and then it got changed to a Dark type move, and Dark is a special type in Gens 1 to 3, so then it became a special move. And then in Gen 4, they changed how moves work for being special or physical based on what move they are rather than what type they are, so it went back to being physical. But it's very good that it's a special move in this because my special attack is much better. So I want a Dark type special move before I fight Misty, because trying to beat her with water moves would be awful. I do get Mega Kick before I fight Misty, which is a physical move, but my attack's really bad. You can beat her with Mega Kick, but it's awful as well. Mega Kick just has absolutely terrible accuracy. I still want Mega Kick to be able to beat the grass types after Misty, but using it on Misty is very, very bad. When I was like the only runner of this game back in like 2011, it is what I did, and a lot of runs reset on Misty. I'll be straight with you. So alright, so now we got Wartortle. And we're just going to continue through Mount Moon, just using Repels. As mentioned, I am going to get the Revive. So I'm going to do a bit of a strat. There is a spinner right after the Revive. And so I'm going to run into their vision 2 tiles before I get to them. And then I'm going to pause. I'm not going to open the bag menu, but I'm going to pause to see if they've moved in that 32 frames. They did. So now I've got to wait for them. That's so unlucky. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. But so the reason I paused was if they didn't move in those 32 frames, they again can't move in the next 32 frames. So I would have been safe to go. But so because they moved straight away in those 32 frames, I was just blocked. And so I was just waiting for them. And then I did that bag manip I was talking about. Just open the bag and then they can't move in the 32 frames. So it's safe to pass. Alright, so this trainer is just forced, so I'm just going to fight this trainer. All water guns. Again, Torrent would be helpful here, but I'm so far above it. I just don't think I'm going to get hit in, especially with Quick Attack there. Rattata could have used Hyper Fang and then Quick Attack. I might have got hit in if it did that. But you can see I'm doing like 80% damage, so with the 50% boost, I would be getting it. So I also got that Persian Berry earlier, and I equipped that, so that heals Confusion. This is the first Pokemon that can confuse me. It's Pitch Leaf Life. It didn't. That's good. I want to keep the Persian Berry for Misty, ideally. She uses Water Pulse quite a lot, and Water Pulse has a 30% chance to confuse, and I don't want to be confused against Misty. Dealing with that is really bad. So I've reached 17 here. I'm actually going to use a rare candy on Wartortle now. As I mentioned, 19 is the magic number, but I'm going to use it from 17 to 18 here. And then I'm going to get 18 to 19 on the next trainer. So it's just generally because rare candies raise your level by 1 and you need more experience to get from one level to the next, you get more value out of them the later you use them. But because I'm going to get to 19 anyway after this trainer, I don't actually get any extra value. So it's just better to use it now to get the damage boost from getting to level 18 here. Okay, he's missed Disable. I'm actually going to use Bubble in case he uses Disable again, because I don't want him to disable Water Gun before the rest of his pokes. Yep, so that's fine. And I'm in no danger of dying here. I think I might outspeed this Voltorb. Yeah, I do. So this is one of the few pokes where that speed actually really matters. Well, not matters, because it's doing, what was it, 2 damage to me, so it doesn't really matter, but I do kill it a bit faster, just not seeing its attack. I'm down to 3 Water Guns, but I don't... Oh, I crit the coughing. All right, nice. That wouldn't have died without the crit. And so now I'll learn Bite, and I'm going to teach that into slot 2. Yeah, I will keep a Water Gun. Yes, over Tail Whip. Okay. And so that's effectively the end of Mount Moon. And so after Mount Moon, I'm going to pick up the Great Ball. I have forgotten to get the Great Ball so many times. It's so important. It's the only Great Ball you can get. And if you jump the ledges after Mount Moon, you can't go back to get it. I don't know how. I've forgotten it like 5 times in practice runs that I've been doing. I'm not exactly sure how.
Don't forget the Great Ball. We have a $5 donation from 8-Bit Waluigi saying, good luck with this run, Werster. It's great seeing you run live after watching your morning streams while I'm getting ready for work. Put this donation towards Runner's Choice.
Excellent. I'll figure that out later.
And so, one more thing, sorry.
Yep.
Don't forget the Great Ball.
Yes, I bought the Great Ball. It's all right, Chief.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. Yeah, it is very important. So yeah, I've taught Mega Kick as well. As mentioned, I'm not going to use it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to catch a level 10 Pokemon. The thing that matters is that it's a level 10 Pokemon. Ideally, it's a Rattata. If it's a Spearow, that's all right too. If it's a Mankey, that's not great. If it's an Ekans, that kind of sucks. That's level 8. That's no good. So the reason Rattata is ideal is because I also need a Pokemon that learns Cut, and Rattata will learn Cut. The reason Spearow's okay is it's fast. Okay, so it's a Spearow. And I need another Spearow later on. So by catching a Spearow now, I will not need to, when I catch that Spearow, the later one, it won't update its Pokedex entry because I've already got it in the Pokedex. Mankey and Ekans are slower Pokemon, and I'm going to be using the level 10 later on to run away from things. And so if they're slower than the things that I encounter, I can fail running away. So it's much better to have something that's a bit fast. And Rattata also comes with the ability Run Away, which always allows it to run away. So it is kind of fast, but... Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get this out of there. It is kind of fast, but just having Run Away means it would run away anyway. So I'm going to take the center here. I don't usually do this, but again, for a marathon run, by flagging the center, it means if I die to Misty, I will go back to Cerulean, which is good. And if I'm entering the center, it's actually faster to take the center than to use potions to get back up to full health. But if I don't enter the center, it would be faster to use the potions. So I don't have to fight any trainers here. I'm just going to go up to Misty. So Misty is actually the only fight, despite the fact I'm using special attacks, where I would want less special attack. And the reason for that is I'm going to 3-hit both of her Pokemon with Bite. But because my special attack's actually good, I'm probably going to hit her into low enough health after 2 bites that she's going to heal her Pokemon. So if I had less special attack, I would be able to still kill in 3 hits, but she wouldn't heal. Yeah, that's way too much. I'm just going to let her heal on Staryu, though. I'm going to deliberately use Bite, because she's only got 1 Super Potion, and if I kill Staryu without it healing, she'll then use the Super Potion on Starmie, and Starmie is more threatening, so I'm just going to get it out of the way now. We'll just take the time loss there. It's unfortunate that I got crit. I'm probably going to have to heal. Got confused. There's the Persenberry gone. Hopefully I don't get confused again. It's actually ideal to get rid of it at some stage because I don't want Wartortle to have an item. I've got double confused. That's not good. Hit myself. Okay. I am going to heal lots. So I don't have Super Potions yet either. So I'm going to double heal on the Staryu. Yeah, I'm going to use another one. It'll only do 19 health, but I'm just going to do it now. The other advantage to using the center before Misty is it means I have more potions in case something like this happens. I could switch out to get rid of the confusion, but I actually want to... Oh, I got snapped out there, so that's part of why I didn't do it. It's just faster to get through if you're going to snap out. But also, I kind of want my other Pokemon alive in case I die, so I can still revive Wartortle. That did 11. Okay, I'm good to take 2 more hits. It can usually do up to 13, and I was at 39, which is 3 13s. See, it did 13 there. So if it did 2 13s, I would have healed now. But because the first one did 11, I'm good to risk this. There you go. All right, that's Misty down. Okay, so Misty gives me the TM for Water Pulse, which I'm going to immediately teach to Wartortle. So that's a 60 power move. I was using Water Gun before, which is 40 power. I'm just going to teach it straight over Water Gun. I don't need that anymore now that I've got a better move. I'm actually going to keep Bubble, which is only 20 power, because there are some Pokemon that Bubble can kill, but Water Gun can kill as well. But because Bubble has less text, it's actually more optimal to use Bubble to kill them instead of Water Gun. And I also have more bubbles than Water Gun because I was using... Oh, no, I took the center. I actually had max of all of them. But it's fine. We'll just get rid of Water Gun. And I'm going to use 2 potions here as well. Bag 2 potions. Whoop, yep, and we're going to duck off to get some more rare candies. So that's the only rare candy I'm going to use on Wartortle. The rest of them are going to be used for some other pokes that I'm going to be getting for this run. So I'm not going to be using Wartortle the whole way through. That is the last gym that Wartortle does. But there are quite a few more fights because I've got to go through Nugget Bridge. And the first fight of Nugget Bridge is against my rival, whose name happens to be Werster. So this fight is very risky as well. It's probably the last really difficult fight of the run. Rival 3 is also quite difficult, but not quite as much as this one. So the Pidgeotto knows Sand Attack. Sand Attack very bad. Anything but Sand Attack good, Sand Attack very bad. Very bad. I may actually switch out, depending on... No, I've still got the Revive. I would like to keep the Revive for longer. So my accuracy is down, and I'm going to want to be using Mega Kick to hit this Bulbasaur. So the chance of this hitting is not great. Not great at all. Sleep Powder, that hit. All right, I've got Awakenings. If I see Leech Seed, I'm switching out. Yeah, no, I'm out of there. Leech Seed and accuracy down. I'm not dealing with this. So I'm going to sacrifice the Magikarp. So, as I said, this is part of why I get the Magikarp as well. Why are you using Poison Powder? My goodness. All right, there we go. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. All right, so now I've got the accuracy back. Try and hit a Mega Kick. There we go. Oh, a crit 1 hit. All right, much better, much better. Yeah, so Leech Seed would have stayed on Wartortle for the whole fight if I didn't switch out. So once that happened, I was just, I'm not going to deal with that. I really could have died if I had stayed in. Because once Bulbasaur starts using Vine Whip as well, that does about 20 damage. So he could have really taken me out in like 1 hit. Because Bulbasaur's got the equivalent ability of Torrent as well, which is Overgrow. So once it's at low health, Vine Whip starts doing more damage as well. So awkwardly, I actually have really high health despite running into troubles in that fight. I actually won Torrent for Nugget Bridge. That's not going to happen either. But I do have pretty decent special attacks, so I should be okay for most things. There's just a few Pokemon that they'll probably be ranges. So every move as well, when you, well, not every move, but most moves, when you use an attack, they can do a range of damage. It's not a set amount that they have. So there's 16 different rolls that they can do. Effectively, it does the damage calculation for this is how much damage it should do. And then it gives 16 different rolls for, okay, if that does 100% and 99% and 98%, etc., all the way down to 85% of the damage. Those are the 16 that it can do. But because the way Pokemon does damage calculations is at every single stage, when it's doing multipliers, it floors the amount of damage. So like it always rounds down, even if it's like 1.9, that round floors down to 1. So there's almost always one damage roll that is higher than the rest. So like the Caterpies from before were doing 3 damage. but they were all a 1 in 16 chance to do 4, because it does the damage calculation and says, okay, it'll do 4 damage, but if it does 99% of that, it'll be 3.9 blah, 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 and then that'll just floor to 3, and so all of the rest will just be 3. It makes some strats like really interesting that you'll see a Pokemon be doing 12 damage or something. You raise your stat by 1, and then suddenly it does 4 because of how the stat calculation works. Okay. I've used 2 Mega Kicks. I think I'm going to double bite this Oddish instead of using Mega Kick on it. Yeah, got the flinch. Nice. So you have 5 Mega Kicks. That's how much PP it's got. And usually you want to use it on 5 Pokemon. It's Rival 2's Bulbasaur, that Oddish. 2 more Oddishes coming up at the last fight before Bill. And then the Drowsy Trainer right after Bill. So given I missed one on Bulbasaur, I have to make one up somewhere. And I made it up there. It's better to make it up there than later, because if that Oddish actually does damage to me, I'm closer to Torrent. I don't have Torrent. I'm nowhere near it, but it's still better to just do it there.
Time for a couple of donations?
Yep, coming.
All right, we have a couple of donations. One from Astoria saying, don't forget the Great Ball. And one from Andrew, $5, also saying, don't forget the Great Ball. And with those 2 donations, we've just hit over $7,200. So that's fantastic, guys.
Nice.
And for those in the room who want to know who we are AusSpeedruns. We are a group doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for Game On Cancer, a charity which funds early cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com. Back to you, Werster.
Thank you very much. If you are watching, please do donate. Even just a little amount does help. We're trying to hit 10K for this event, and this is our last day. So we're past 7,200. It'll be hard, but I reckon we can get there if we all chip in. All right, got the Confusion Water Pulse, and it killed us up in Confusion there. That's neat. But yeah, so the Great Ball is coming up soon. After I go through these trainers on Nugget Bridge, I'm going to be entering the most variable part of the run, which I confused this one too. Oh my goodness. Oh, it didn't kill itself. What a shame. So you can see all of these trainers. Torrent would have helped just to get that little bit of extra damage. So I'm going to be entering the most variable part of the run, which is catching an Abra. So Abras, if you've played this game, you probably know, trying to catch an Abra is very difficult because the only move that they know is teleport. So they will immediately use teleport, which escapes you from the battle. So you only have 1 turn to catch them. So you've just got to catch them at full health, which has the lowest chance of trying to catch something. Generally, you try and lower their health, like I did with the Spearow before you start throwing balls. And Abra doesn't actually have the best catch rate either. So different Pokemon are harder to catch than others. Abra's it's kind of mid-table, but because you don't have access to really good balls at this stage either, there's just that one Great Ball, you're not that good a chance of catching it. It's also the reason why I got that level 10 Pokemon before. So I'm going to switch to the level 10 Pokemon before I try and catch the Abra. The reason for that is, the way repels work is they repel the Pokemon that are lower level than you, and not the ones that are higher level than you. So for all of the Pokemon in this area, there's like, obviously if you add the chance of all of them, there's a 100% chance for all of the encounters. But by having the repel on with a level 10 Pokemon, it's going to get rid of 69% of the encounters, which will leave just 31% left. And of that 31%, 11% is Abra. So in total, it's actually 15% is Abra out of 100%. It only gets rid of 4% of them, which is the level 9 Abras. So it increases the chance from 15% to 11 in 31, which is obviously much better. So repel. Switch Spearow to the front. And then save. It's going to give me a dialog box to say, do I want to save over? That's fine. I'm just going to save over. And then we're going to go in here. So I'm going to chuck the Great Ball as soon as I see an Abra. And so the reason I saved is I've only got 1 Great Ball. So if the Great Ball fails, I want to reset and then use the Great Ball again. So the chance between encountering the Abra and catching the Abra, the chance is almost exactly 1 in 7. So this should take about 7 encounters to get one. That would be the average. I have gone over 100 without getting the Abra before. So we might be here for a while. Hopefully not too bad. So I can see level 11 and level 13 Abras. The level 11 is much more common. That's the 10%. And then the level 13 Abra. Oh, I can't escape. This Pidgey is really fast. Oh my. Okay, we're good. The level 13 is at 1%. Level 13 is better, but it doesn't matter that much. There's also a 5% chance that the Abra comes with a twisted spoon. That is very good. I have never seen the twisted spoon. All right, that's an Oddish. Not good. So Oddish, Oddish, Pidgey, and Abra are the things I can see. I'd rather see an Oddish than a Pidgey, obviously, because the Pidgeys can be faster than me. You saw that. The Oddishes are very slow, though. So I should always be able to escape from them. I've only got one repel to use here as well. So the repel works by how many tiles you use. I've kind of run around for a bit. I'm now going to just turn on the spot here, because this will also check for an encounter, but it's not a tile. So I can do that endlessly and not actually run out of repels. So here's an Abra. Don't applaud yet, I haven't caught it. Okay, throw the Great Ball. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to reset to get the Great Ball back.
All right. While we're on the Abra hunt, we have had some more donations come in.
Yep.
$10 from B saying good luck on the speedrun. Don't forget the Great Ball. Ben just says Great Ball with dots. $15, thank you so much. Anonymous, $6 donation, thank you so much also. Another $10 donation from Anonymous saying, I entirely believe that Werster would have forgotten the Great Ball. And $50 from Spuzzer999 saying, good luck with the run, Werster. He is hoping for a sub 124 PB. So thank you all those donations. Oh, one more, sorry. $5 from Omanite saying, all hail Helix Fossil.
There we go, yes. I did get the Helix Fossil in this run. It is one tile faster to get the Helix Fossil. Yeah, so we're way past 7 encounters, so the game is not being friendly at all. As I mentioned, this is the big variance point, even when you're doing attempts. So I think even in my PB, this took me like 3 minutes or something. But so you can imagine how bad this would be if I didn't get the level 10. Trying to get 15% Abra, because this is, it more than doubles the chance of seeing the Abra. Here we go. Level 11. One, 2, 3. Yes! Okay, so as you can imagine, given I did that for so long, Abra is completely important to the run. The run does not work without Abra. The reason Abra is important actually does not have to do with teleport, which is what you might think, given I'm catching the Abra. That's the only way you can use teleport at this stage. The reason I need the Abra is because this run is going to use Mr. Mime. And the only way you can get a Mr. Mime is to trade an Abra with an NPC in the game for the Mr. Mime. And so that's going to happen once I get to Vermilion City. But you have to go through Diglett's Cave back to Route 2 on the other side of Pewter. I did not do that correctly, but that spinner did not hit me, so that's fine. That's a spinner there. They're rotating up and down. I was trying to run right for one tile to force them to look upwards. I just walked it. I didn't run, but they didn't turn anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, so I'm going to be trading that Abra for the Mr. Mime. And so the reason level 13 is better is the way in-game trades work in this game is they come at the same level of the Pokemon you trade them for. So if I trade a level 13 Abra, I get a level 13 Mr. Mime back. And I'm going to be using the Mr. Mime quite a bit once I get the Mr. Mime. So it's just 2 extra levels that I have to get, but that's only 1 trainer. Okay, fight this one at the top. You can fight either of these 2 trainers, but the one at the top's only got 2 Pokemon, so it's better to fight this one. I just want to check my Water Pulse PP at this point. I think I'm fine. 7. Yeah, that's fine. You can use it. infinite amount of water pulses, so I probably should have used Bite on that Rattata, but I should be fine. I should only need 3 more after this. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I should only need 3 more, but I can potentially use 400. But that won't happen. So I'm also going to get this hidden orange berry in this little spot here. That's also very important for later on in the run. Berries are very scarce in this game, and very, like, well hidden. You would have seen before I have a berry pouch, but the berry pouch doesn't actually show up until you get a berry. I was not supposed to use Bubble there. That was totally wrong. I was supposed to use Mega Kick. Now that I've used Bubble, I'm actually going to use Bite, because I think it might kill, and I need to save a Mega Kick anyway. Not quite. That's fine, though. Yeah, I've got enough bites, and then I crit, of course. That's classic Pokemon again. Mega Kick this one. I've got 3, yeah. That'll be fine. Mega Kick the Drowsy. And I might Mega Kick the Raticate as well. Right, the Pidgey. Oh, that's close to Torrent. Okay, I'm not sure. I'll decide later. All right, so now I'm up to Bill. So we had a donation war for boy versus girl. So Bill, like, for the rest of the game, it actually doesn't matter. But Bill actually has text that right there says, "I'm not joshing you, lady." If you're the boy, he calls you a lad or a kid or something. It's 1 frame shorter because it's 1 text shorter, like 1 character shorter. So the girl is actually slightly suboptimal, but it's so little difference that I don't think anybody really cares.
While we are rescuing Bill, got a few donations. Yep. PSI guy says, "Great job remembering the Great Ball." $5 from Lawrence saying, "I thought he would have forgotten the Great Ball." And then $50 from a bear with a Great Ball, with no comment on that one. And then $40 from Foxden saying, "Grats on the Abracatch." And with those donations, we've just hit over $7,400.
Very nice, very nice. All right, so saving Bill, he gives you the SS ticket. He also gives you access to this area here. The guard would be in front of this door if I didn't fight Bill. You do need the SS ticket too, because you need to go to the SS Anne, but it's basically just the game guiding you to where you need to go. This trainer is just, you've got to fight him. They give you the TM for Dig. I'm not going to use Dig though. Wow, I got that Machop without Torrent. That's rare, actually. I thought that was not going to die in 1 hit. I'm going to Mega Kick this Drowsy. This Drowsy has Hypnosis, which is not good, so I want to hit it. I'll take it out with 1 hit as long as I hit it, even with really poor attack. That's all good. Don't want Rapid Spin. Okay, and then there's 1 more fight on the way to Vermilion, and that fight is the last one that Wartortle does by itself, because after that I'm going to be trading for the Mr. Mime, and then I'm basically going to be soloing with Mr. Mime. Not because Mr. Mime is faster. Mr. Mime is not faster. It's actually pretty good, but it's not faster. It's because it's required for this run to be using Mr. Mime. It is the hero of this story, you might say. So there's still low encounter on that grass there, so you got to be pretty unlucky to get an encounter. Just run around the vision of that first trainer, but I have to fight this one. Think I'm going to use Bite on this Spearow, just to save a Water Pulse, just in case. So the reason I'm, like, trying to save Water Pulses just in case is when I'm going through Diglett's cave, I am going to be using Repels. I'm actually going to catch a Diglett first, because I need something for Cut, and Diglett can learn Cut, and I'm going to be encountering a Diglett in Diglett's cave if I just keep the Repels off. But even with the Repels on, I can encounter Dugtrios, because they're higher level than me. They can be level 29 or level 31. So they're actually quite a bit faster than me, and higher level than me, and Dugtrios are very fast as well. Not only that, they can actually have the ability Arena Trap, which prevents you from running away, no matter what. And so you have to kill the Dugtrios. for the fight to end. And to do that, I need water pulses. Especially given I don't have a Rattata. If I had a Rattata, I could just use the Rattata's runaway ability. But I don't have that. So we'll get a Diglett. Level 20, good. If it's a lower level, there's a chance that you'll actually kill it in one hit. Magnitude 4, very good. That's the lowest magnitude you can get. That's only 10 power. If it got like magnitude 10 there, it actually probably could have killed me. Throw the Pokeball, catch the Diglett, and this is going to be my cutter. So if I caught a level 10 Rattata before, I just wouldn't catch a Diglett here, and I would just use Repel straight away. Got the Diglett. And then I'm going to start using Repels. Repel. All the way through here. And so if I get an encounter, like if you see the encounter music start, that's a Dugtrio, because it's the only thing that can show up. And it's just very, very bad. And Diglett's Cave is actually quite long in this version. It's really short in other versions, but they just put so many steps in here. And so unfortunately, once I get to where I want to get the Mr. Mime, I'd like to teleport back to Vermilion, but I just get rid of the Abra, so I can't teleport anymore. It's a bit of a shame. You've got to run all the way back as well. All right, so here's the trade for Mr. Mime. Okay, so the reason Mr. Mime is important for this run is the way this run works is there are two moves that I absolutely need to be using. One of them is Recycle, and the other one is Knockoff. The best way to get both of these moves are with in-game trades. The best way to get Recycle is to trade for this Mr. Mime and get it to level 33. That is the earliest you can get Recycle. And the best way to get Knockoff is to in-game trade for the Farfetch'd and get that to level 21. And so the trade for Farfetch'd is Spearow. I do have a Spearow, but it's only level 10. So I'm actually going to catch a higher level Spearow later on and trade that for the Farfetch'd. It'll either be 20 or 21, 20 or 22. So I may need to give one rare candy to get the Farfetch'd to 21. It won't be doing any battling, but the Mr. Mime is going to be doing a lot of battling to get to level 33. So that's why I'm going to main it from this point. This is good. We're almost there. Almost there. One more Repel. Excellent. No Dugtrios. So in my first, I think, 12 runs, I always had a Dugtrio. It was only, I think, on my very last run before I actually came to this event where I finally got a run without Dugtrio. So I'm actually pretty happy that it didn't happen in this run. So I'm going to switch Mr. Mime to the front. And then we're going to go out to the deck on SSN, and we're going to fight a few trainers for experience. Just over here. All right. So Mr. Mime, it does come with Confusion, and it is a Psychic type, which is actually pretty useful for the Pokemon that I'm going to be fighting for the next little bit of the game. So I'm going to swap Confusion to slot 1, just because I'm going to be spamming Confusion quite a bit with Mr. Mime. Focus Energy is good, so on these fights I just don't want to be taking damage. So if they're using their non-damage dealing moves like Focus Energy and Leer, that's good. Because you can see the level difference is actually quite a bit different. Like, I'm level 11 and they're 18. So even if that Machop uses Low Kick, which is not very effective, it does half my health. So I don't want that to be happening. Just no damage is good. So the good thing about the in-game trades, so like the Mr. Mime here, is it's getting boosted experience. So it's getting 1.5 times the amount of experience that another Pokemon would be getting. So it does kind of accelerate the getting experience part of this run. All right, so that's got me to 13. Now I'm going to fight this trainer, and they're going to get me to 15. So I fought that trainer first because I 2-hit both of those Pokemon at 11. But then at 13, I 2-hit both of these Pokemon. You can one-hit the Machop, so if the Abra had the Twisted Spoon, I would have taken the Twisted Spoon off and then given it to Mr. Mime. And then, obviously, all of Mr. Mime's Confusions would be doing more damage, because Twisted Spoon increases Psychic-type moves by 10%. In Gen 4, they changed it so those increase by 20%, but the 10% boost is still helpful in this run. It's not that significant, but it is helpful. Poison Sting. Do not poison me. Okay, that's good. I don't think I've been poisoned at all, actually. There were quite a few poison stings. Even the Bulbasaur missed poison powder on Magikarp. It didn't even poison the Magikarp. Alright, don't want double slap. So I have a lot of antidotes. Which is good. I'm actually still going to use a regular potion on Mr. Mime for that health. Just going to do it now. Yeah, because I've still got 3 regulars. Just keep as many super potions as possible, and then I'm going to set the options to shift. So what that means is it's after every Pokemon that I defeat, the game will ask, do you want to switch Pokemon? And so I'm actually going to be changing between Mr. Mime and Wartortle here. Mr. Mime could win this fight by itself, but it's really, really slow because of the Pokemon order that he sends out against different Pokemon. So I'm going to hit this Pidgeotto once with Mr. Mime. If it hits itself here, that's actually really nice. No damage. Then I'm going to switch to Wartortle. And I'm going to beat this Pidgeotto with Wartortle. That's going to lure him to send out Ivysaur, because Ivysaur is his best matchup against Wartortle. But then because I've set the mode to shift, I'm then going to switch immediately to Mr. Mime before he actually sends out the Ivysaur. That way Mr. Mime can get all of the experience against Ivysaur. And this is the matchup that I want. He'd send Ivysaur out last if I didn't do this. And I'm also going to set up on the Ivysaur. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Substitute so that he can't use any of his status moves, or they won't work because I've got Substitute up, and he's going to use, you know, Sleep Powder. I don't have to deal with any of that. I'm also going to set up a Barrier, Sleep Powder, and he'll still keep using them even though I've got the Substitute up. The AI isn't quite smart enough to figure out not to do that. Once I start hitting him, he becomes more likely to use Vine Whip, but he's still not guaranteed. I'd like to keep the Substitute up if possible. Yep, all Sleep Powder, that's perfect. And then he's going to send out Raticate. I'm still going to have my Substitute up. I've used the Barrier, so I should be fine to just beat the Raticate here with Mr. Mime. And then the last Pokemon that he's got is Kadabra. And Mr. Mime versus Kadabra is so bad because you've only got one attacking move, and it's Confusion. And the Kadabra knows Disable. So once you use Confusion, it then disables Confusion, and then you can't attack it anymore. So all I'm going to do when the Kadabra shows up is I'm just going to switch to Wartortle. But I'm going to stay in for it. Oh, no, that's crit. That's so unlucky. Send out Diglett. Yes. I still have the Revive, though. I hope. I'm pretty sure I still have the Revive. But it'll do 21. Because I don't have the Barrier up. I'm going to send out Spearow and also use the Super Potion. They're down here. Because I still want all the experience to go to Mr. Mime. So crits ignore useful stat increases. So the critical not only did 2 times the amount of damage. Oh, I'm faster. Why did I bother doing that? Okay, that was a complete waste, but it's all good. It's all good. So it ignores the fact that I boosted my defense, so it effectively did 4 times as much damage. So if that didn't crit, it would have done about 12 damage, but I was at 32 and it just took me out in 1 hit. I'm going to use Water Pulse. Ooh. I should not have risked that, oh my god. Okay, and so now we're going to go up here and get cut. So I got all the experience that I wanted. It's unfortunate that I've used my Revive, but there isn't too many risky fights until right at the end. And that fight is so risky that I'm going to save before it. So if I'm in a position where I would have used the Revive, I'll just reload the save and just start the fight over again. I'm thinking whether there's a free heal that you can take on this ship. I'm thinking whether to take it given everything else except my 1 HP Wartortle died. But I'm actually not going to do it because I've already used my Revive. So there's actually no point. So there's a little bit of new tech in this run, which is One run when I was playing and I was absolutely out of my mind and completely cooked. I forgot to get the bike voucher in Vermilion City. So you can get the bike voucher here and then go up to Cerulean City and get the bike. I just completely forgot to get it, and I had to run all the way back to Vermilion, and it was just absolutely awful. And after that run, I actually timed it, and it's faster to skip the bike. So I'm just not going to get the bike. We're just going to run the whole run. So the bike moves at 6 frames. Oh, before I forget, switch the options back. Okay, I have forgotten that before as well. I'm also going to teach cut to Diglett. Yep, so the bike moves at 6 frames per tile, and running is 8 frames per tile. So it doesn't double your movement speed like walking to running does. It does increase it by quite a bit. So throughout the run, it saves like a bit more than 45 seconds having the bike, but it actually takes more than that to get the bike. Because this run, you don't go to every town, I'll put it that way. There's less use of the bike than in other runs. So it's actually just faster to not get the bike. So now we're on our way to Rock Tunnel. Mr. Mine's still in the front. I've turned the options off. I've actually got full health. Using that super potion was kind of alright because I would have had to heal that health at some stage. And so a bunch of poison types here. I'm going to use Substitute again because Oddish only has status moves, and I'm not going to take it out in one hit. Unless I crit it. So just to avoid the poison or the sleep or whatever, it's just faster to put up a Substitute. Oh, I forgot to get the Max Ether. What can I do? What can I do? There is a Pokemon Center just before Rock Tunnel, but I don't have enough Confusions to make it to that Pokemon Center. I might have to go back and take the center at Cerulean. What do I do? I think it's my only option to go back and take the center. It's either I go back and take the center, or I take this center and then go back. But I think that would be risky, because I think I would have to pass the spinner without the bike. And if I hit that spinner, I'd run out of Confusions. Alright, I'm just going to go back to Cerulean City and take the center. Okay, that cut bush is still... Yeah, okay. This is definitely faster. This will be fine.
All right, while you're going back to the center, I got a couple donations.
Yep.
We got a $40 donation from Anonymous, no comment. And then a $15 donation from Astorius saying, don't forget to forget the bike. So thank you for those donations.
Yep, love that. Okay, so I should be fine on PP all the way now. So it's actually not that much time loss because I would have had to pick up the Max Ether and use the Max Ether. And now I'm just going to use the center instead. If I had taken the heal on the ship, I wouldn't have made it because I would have had to use Confusions for that fight that I just did, and then I would run out of Confusions. But I should make it from here if I'm careful. If I'm not careful, I'll run out, but if I'm careful, I should be fine. So I should have mentioned as well, because I was talking about how Squirtle stats can vary a lot. But the Mr. Mime, because it's an in-game trade poke, it actually always has the same stats every single time. So it makes the routing for these fights actually quite simple. Like the runs from this fight are very, very... the runs. Yeah. The fights from this point in runs are actually very, very similar. You don't have to worry about getting good IVs or good stats or anything. You've always got the same. Okay, so there's a bit of spinner tech coming up here. Hopefully I can actually get this one. So I'm going to run into the corner of the spinner to force him to look a certain way and then walk past. And if I do it correctly, I can always get past. Like that. So they were looking to the right, and then by running into the corner, I forced them to look down, and then I could just walk up past them. So if you're running, they will always turn towards where you are. I have to do that on the way back as well. So these Beedrills as well, I want to be taking no damage. I really want to be seeing focus energy. Again, I'm just fighting these for experience. The Beedrills give a lot of experience. Fury Attack's bad. Please only do 2. I'm going to have to heal. I'm going to have to heal. I'll do it on the next one, though. It's going to be just a bit of a risk if I go in with 14. If it picks Fury Attack and it hits 5 times, it's over. That would be a death. If I still had my revive, I'd probably risk it. So that's the thing with getting the revive, is that it's a bit of time lost to get it. And it looks like, oh, of course it picks focus energy. It looks like, of course, like that's just a safety strat, so you wouldn't do it in optimal runs. But it actually saves you a lot of time because it allows you to take more risks. I only hit twice that time. I mean, it's still good that I'm taking no damage because I want to be avoiding any heals from this point onwards. It's now level 22, and I'm going to learn Magical Leaf. So that's a grass-type move, 60 power and always hits. Confusion's 50 power. But because it's a Psychic-type move and Mr. Mime's Psychic-type, it still does more. But Magical Leaf is going to be helpful for Rock Tunnel coming up. That's why I want this experience before Rock Tunnel as well. Hopefully I get this set up on the way back too. Oh no, I did not do the setup, but I got past. I was supposed to run for 1 tile after the ledge. But I didn't. But they weren't looking right, so it was fine. I still got past them. This fight is all just Confusion as well. It's the last fight before Rock Tunnel. So Magical Leaf is really helpful for Rock Tunnel, as I mentioned. You would think that's for all of the rock types, but the thing it's actually most helpful for are the Slowpokes that are right at the start of Rock Tunnel. Slowpokes are Water Psychic, so Confusion would be not very effective and take like 6 turns. But Magical Leaf is super effective, so you can get him in 2. So I'm also going to be getting 4 rare candies in this run. It's kind of like a race to get those 4 rare candies, and just how much experience you can get along the way with that is kind of like what the route is. This is one of them. So Mr. Mime has to get to at least level 29, because then 4 rare candies would be level 33. It may have to get to level 30 if I catch a level 20 Spearow, and then I have to use one of those rare candies on Farfetch to get to 21. That'll just be 1 extra trainer afterwards. Bag, and then we're going to rappel through a rock tunnel. This is obviously in the dark, so it can be hard to tell exactly where you're going. But it's not too bad. You do have that little bit of window around you. And the way you typically do it is you're basically just hanging to the walls so that you can see, okay, I'm 1 tile off the wall, or I'm on the wall and the wall disappears, and you just kind of adjust based on that. There's quite a few trainers that I do have to fight in Rock Tunnel, so I should exit at level 28, I think it is. The hard part of Rock Tunnel is there's actually a spinner that you have to pass in Rock Tunnel as well, and you can't see the spinner when you're trying to do the setup. And so it's very similar to the one I was just doing before, where you have to run right into the corner and then walk for 1 tile. And so if you run 1 tile too extra, you will always run into them, and you can't even see what direction they're facing as well. That's not till a bit later in Rock Tunnel, but yeah, that's definitely the annoying part. All right. Fight this trainer. So it is slightly faster to actually talk to the trainers instead of running into their vision, just to avoid that little bit of animation where they have the exclamation mark above their head. Just talking to them immediately starts the dialogue. These are the Slowpokes I was talking about. These also have Disable, so if you don't have Magical Leaf, it's really bad. But these have random AI. So the rival actually has, it's not random what moves he's picking. He is doing like, he's following set paths, and he's prioritizing status moves, actually, which means he'll basically always pick Disable with Kadabra once you've used an attack. I'm also bonking into the trainers after I fight them. So the reason for that is there are what we call turn frames in this game. So if you, like when I was at the Abra, how I was like turning on the spot, if you're not moving and you turn in a direction, so you face a direction that isn't the one that you're facing, you'll turn on the spot before moving, and that takes 8 frames, I think it is. In this game, it varies between a lot of games. I run a lot of Pokemon games. I think it's 8 in this one, but yeah. But so if you're in motion, you don't actually have those turn frames, and so if you bonk, so you're like, in this case, up 1 for what, like 1 frame, you're in motion as soon as you do that bonk, and then you can move to the right without having that turn frame happen. So it's just a little bit faster to do that. What's interesting, though, is that if you're on the bike, those turn frames don't exist. So when I actually found out that it's faster to not have the bike, it kind of changed exactly how I do Rock Tunnel, because this used to be you're on the bike and getting used to the bike movements through Rock Tunnel and you're not trying to do any bonks at all. And now I'm running through Rock Tunnel, and so my timings are all a bit different, and I am trying to bonk after all of the trainers. Yep, that's good.
Got time for a quick,
Yep.
donation?
Go
Yep.
in.
$50 from Anonymous, and that takes us over 7,500 for this marathon. And just a quick plug for anyone that don't know who we are AusSpeedruns, a group that doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. At this event, we're raising money for Game On Cancer, a charity that which funds early access cancer researchers and who are working with across all areas of cancer research. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com. Back to you, Werster.
For those people in the crowd as well, if you do want to donate, we have a little donate jar over at the interactive station that we're running. We have a little desk up there. Sten's holding it up right now. If you look around, there it is. It's very cute. It's in the shape of our logo. It's very adorable. Love it very much. But yeah, even if you've just got silver just hanging around that you just don't want anymore, you can just drop it in there. It's all good. All right. So we're coming up to, this is the floor with the spinner, but there's still 2 trainers I've got to do before then. That's my last rappel. So we're getting to the end of Rock Tunnel now. This trainer leads with a Jigglypuff. Confusion would do more to this Jigglypuff, but I'm actually going to use Magical Leaf. Again, it's because the Jigglypuff knows Disable. And so if it picks Disable, I don't want it to disable Confusion, because it disables your last used move. I want it to disable Magical Leaf, and then I can just spam Confusion. It missed Disable, but you can see exactly why. Well, you can see why when the next Pokemon come out, because I don't want to be using Magical Leaf on Pidgey, because it's not very effective against Pidgey. But now I can swap to Confusion. So I've got 10 Confusions left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need exactly 10. Perfect. So yeah, you can see Mr. Mime, once it got that first bit of experience, it's actually making pretty lightweight of all of these trainers. It just turns out Confusion and Magical Leaf actually does really well for the portion of the game that it has to do. Even if it had absolutely garbage moves, you would still use Mr. Mime because you need Recycle. And I think the only other way you can get Recycle is with a Porygon. So you would have to get all of the coins to buy Porygon, which that's just not happening. And I think it actually learns it at a worse level as well. I don't know what level it learns it at, to be quite honest. But I think it might be in the 40s. But it's just not even close to Mr. Mime. Like, Mr. Mime's just so much faster. Right, so after this trainer is that spinner that I was talking about. So I'm probably just going to do a little, like, stop just to gather my bearings before I try and do the setup. Got it. Beautiful. All right, cool. Yep, got to go all the way around the edge to dodge those trainers, and this is the last fight in Rock Tunnel. This one's just all Confusion. So there's only... How many fights are there left in this run? It's like 4 or 5. We're actually getting really close to the end, which, if you've played this game before, this does not look like it's very close to the end. But I promise you, we're almost there. Once I have a level 33 Mr. Mime, a level 21 Farfetch'd, and the Oran Berry, and some retro mails, and a full party, and access to a double battle, all of which is going to happen like at once, we're going to be able to beat the game. Okay, Mr. Mime's a bit low on health. I'm probably going to super at some stage. I might do that when I escape rope, actually. Oh, that's nowhere near far enough. Is that the right? Nope, almost. Okay, so we're out of Rock Tunnel. I am just going to run around this trainer. That's a walker just above me there. You can see it moving left and right. That's actually a trainer. Just don't want to run into his vision. Going to fight this trainer. This trainer has a Growlithe and a Vulpix. The Growlithe's not really a threat. The Vulpix, though, has Confuse Ray and Will-O-Wisp, so it can status you. I don't want to use Substitute, though. I'm just going to deal with it if it happens. The Growlithe has Roar as well, which it's like, if you get roared out, you would have, like, only half the experience goes to Mr. Mime, and you need all of the experience. However, Mr. Mime actually has the ability Soundproof, which blocks moves that are sound-based, and Roar is sound-based, so Roar actually doesn't work on Mr. Mime. Ends up being really neat, just for this interaction. The Vulpix has it too. Oh no, Confuse Ray. Come on, Mr. Mime. Come on, Mr. Mime. Good boy. I'm assuming that people who have clapped for that have played Pokemon a lot and know how annoying confusion can be. Alright, so now we're going to run to Celadon City. In Celadon City, the first thing I'm going to pick up is actually the T, which is going to give me access to Saffron City. I don't actually need Saffron City, but I want to go back to Vermilion because that's where the trade for Farfetch'd is, and I would rather cut through Saffron City to do that than go all the way back through Rock Tunnel. So getting the T is just going to be a bit faster. Then I'm going to head over to the Mart, and I'm going to get lots of retro nails. I'm going to get 11 of them. I don't need 11, but it's just, I need more than one. Oh no, come on Clefairy, what are you doing? Get the tea. So in the original games, you actually buy like fresh water or lemonade in the department store. But in this game, they changed it to tea. I guess because they didn't want to encourage kids to be having soft drinks. Instead, have tea, not water, I guess, is the idea there. So we're going to go up to the 4th floor, and we're going to buy retro mails. So I'm just going to buy 11 because... Oh, no, that's Pokédolls. Please buy 11 retro mails. Yeah, so just buying 11 because that's one input to go plus 10. Then I'm going to go to the 2nd floor, and I'm not going to buy an Abra. No. So I'll buy 11 Great Balls. Who cares? So potentially, if you don't have a full party, you end up buying more Abras with the coin case, and the fastest way to do that is to have $10,000. And I had 10,572, and I was going to buy a Great Ball, and they're 600 a pop. But because I'm not buying the Abra, I can just buy the Great Balls. It's fine. So here, I'm looking for the Spearow. So I'm looking for either a level 20 or a 22 Spearow. And as I mentioned, the 22 one is better. This one won't be as bad as Abra, because if I encounter one, I will be able to catch it. So normally, even if I'm buying a Great Ball, I'd only buy one, because the chance of catching a Spearow with a Great Ball after I weaken it with a Magical Leaf is 99.994%. It's almost 100%, but you can fail. So just in case that happens, I bought more than one. Rattata. Just got to wait for the Spearow. As I meant, this one won't take as long. I forget what the rates here are. It might be 30% for Spearow overall. 20% for the level 20 and 10% for the 22. I think, question mark. Could just be totally wrong. Another Rattata. There we go. Spearow, 20. That's a shame. Okay, so Magical Leaf. Please don't crit the Spearow. Thank you. Oh my. That did quite a bit, actually. Throw the Great Ball. That actually might be 100%. My Magical Leaf did quite a bit there. I'm not going to be able to tell because it's just going to catch either way. No. No nickname to Spearow. I've quite often hit yes there because I'm expecting the Pokedex screen to show up, but I've already got a Spearow, so it doesn't show up. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to fight one... Oh, no, actually, I'm going to use a super potion. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm super low on health. All right, so that's my party of 6. So we're all good on that regard. So I'm going to fight this trainer. The whole reason I'm really fighting this trainer is just to get access to below, because there's a rare candy down there. I still need a bit more experience. So it's fighting this trainer is fine. I'm getting the experience. But it's mainly, I'm fighting this trainer specifically because I want the rare candy. Oh, excuse me.
Got a few donate.
Yep. Come in.
All right, we got $7 from Judo Jericho saying no comment, and $15 from Charizard Mid, and $5 from Don't. All left no comments, but thank you very much for your donations.
Love that. So that was my last confusion. But now I get to level 29, and I'm going to learn Psybeam, and I'm just going to teach that over confusion. So, waited that out perfectly. So that's 29. Press this switch, we'll go downstairs, we'll get the rare candy, and then we'll immediately use that escape rope that I got back in Mount Moon to get out of here. And now we're just setting up for the magic. That's what we're doing here. Here's the rare candy. I might do this now before I forget. I've got to give a mail to Mr. Mime. So putting Abra in there is just because it's the default. I need to put in something. And so that's just mashing A and putting in Abra. Abra has no significance there. I'm pointing that out because some other things will have a lot of significance when I start doing them. All right, so he's going to ask for the tea. I'm going to give him the tea, and then we're going to run down to Vermilion. I should get the rare candy now. Yes. Yes, it's faster to get it on the way down than the way up. There's one here. Beautiful. So that's all my candies now. Beautiful, she moved out of my way. And now we're going to trade that level 20 Spearow for Farfetch'd. So as I mentioned, I want the Farfetch'd because at level 21, Farfetch'd learns Knockoff, and that's just the easiest way that you can use that you can get access to the move Knockoff. And that's going to be required for the magic in probably just a few minutes away now, I'd say. We're getting close. I'm going to have to fight one more trainer to get Mr. Mime to level 30. And then we're going to go into the double battle after that. And that's where all the magic's going to happen. Oh, moved out of my way both times. Very nice. I've never been that lucky before. Mr. Mime's got enough health for this fight. That'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to go over and fight this scientist. And he's going to give me just enough experience to get to level 30. He's got 2 Grimers and a Muck. The Muck is a damage range. It might live. If it does, whatever. If it crits me with Sludge, I'll die, and then I will cry. But hopefully that doesn't happen. He's got random AI as well. And I think it's got 4 moves, so it's got like Minimize and a bunch of other garbage moves. I did not get the range. Disable. Oh no! How do I kill the Grimer? Oh. I'm going to have to spam Magical Leaf on the Grimer until Psybeam comes back. Because I can't switch out because I need all of the experience. I actually did... Oh! Beautiful! How good's that? Yes! I actually didn't even know Disable could wear off that quickly. My goodness. Okay. Is what? No, Wartortle's not at 1 health. Oh my, how am I going to do this? Do I still do it with Wartortle? Okay, I'm going to do it with Wartortle. This would be the safest way. This is going to take a long time, no? Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so I'm going to save here just in case something goes wrong. Oh, I haven't done the rare candies yet. We'll just do them now. I knew I was forgetting something. I was like, that menu was way too quick. All right, I'll teach knockoff. I can keep Peck at least. Yeah, we'll get rid of Lear. And then freeze to Mr. Mime. So the thing is, now Mr. Mime is past level 30, it will actually start disobeying me. And so this is the main reason that I'm saving in this fight, is I need to be doing this next trick in a double fight. And this is like the only double fight that I have access to. So if I win this fight without doing all the things I need to do, I just can't continue. I have to go all the way to the next double fight. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know where that is. So because Mr. Mime can disobey me, I can be sitting there trying to use Recycle, and Mr. Mime can be like, nope, I'm going to use Psybeam and win the fight. And that would just be run over if I don't save. So what I'm going to... The first thing I want to do here is I want the Oran Berry to be used on Wartortle. So I'm actually just going to attack Wartortle with Farfetch'd here. So if I didn't take that center, Wartortle, I would have used a potion on it, and it would have been at 21 health, and the Oran Berry would have just been used straight away. The reason I didn't give the Oran Berry to somebody else, though, is they could end up dying before the Oran Berry gets used. This might take a few hits from Farfetch'd, but Wartortle won't die once it goes below health, below half. So it'll be this turn. Okay, that's good. Disable Peck, that's fine. Oran Berry gets used. Now I'm going to use Knockoff on slot 2, and I'm going to switch to the Mr. Mime that's holding the mail. Knockoff is going to knock off the mail. Then I'm going to try and get the Mr. Mime to use Recycle. Recycle will then recycle the Oran Berry that got used from before, rather than the retro mail that was just knocked off. Recycle straight away. Perfect. Obeyed me. Okay, we're going to be able to continue. Sand attack was disabled. That's fine. Now I've just got to take him out. We'll just Peck, and you can Psybeam. Oh, he's picking Psybeam too. Yes, Mr. Mime. Okay, so this is going to activate... Well, it actually doesn't do it yet, but there's a slight glitch state with the mail, so it's called Mail Corruption. Obeyed me all 3 turns. That's beautiful. And so part of why this works is, so this is why I need the full party as well. You'll see I'm going to start giving mail to everybody in my party, and you'll notice the mail is going to look a bit weird when I get to the 6th one. So we'll do it here. Take this off. Oh no, I should have done this through the Pokemon menu. I did do it through the Pokemon menu. Goose. All right, so I'm going to give everybody Retro Mail, and we're just going to give them all Abras. Abra. Yep. But you can see when it's got the options, it's got all these dashes for like where you want to put things. So this is the second last one. Abra. Take this item off, and then you'll notice when I start to give this one, it looks a bit different. There's lots of question marks going on. And I'm going to put green bag. Yes. Okay. And you'll also notice the mail didn't actually go on there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to name my boxes. And JT is going to check to make sure I name these correctly, because if I do it incorrectly, this is not going to work. I think that's right. N, B, Q, question mark. Okay, that looks right. Because I don't actually know the characters this is supposed to be. I know the inputs rather than the characters. Is that right?
After the question mark, you want N.
Yeah, it's N there, isn't it?
So it's question mark hyphen
Yes,
H.
yes.
Yeah, you got it.
Then H. No, it's not hyphen.
No, it's a space question mark.
Hang on. Space question mark quotations N space question mark hyphen? No.
Well,
What the hell is it?
my notes say H, not N. So it's
H there?
so yeah, space question mark hyphen. Yeah, that comma thing. Yeah, H and then a space question mark N and then capital
N-O.
N-O, yeah.
N-O.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So this is exactly why I did.
Thank you, JT, for saving the run.
There you go. You got that one.
Okay. Oh no, I should do this through the Pokemon menu again. Then I'm going to give another mail here. And this one is take Jigglypuff. Then I'm going to take all of these mails off. This is actually not required. This is just faster. Then I'm going to deposit all of these Pokemon. And then we're going to pick up our friend. This is just a friend. We did it. All right, and so timing's coming up when this fades to white. So that's now. Oh, to black, sorry. All right. Excellent. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. So the more technical way that works, I can't really explain very quickly. But so basically, it's running a script where it runs through the box names, which is why I'm changing the box names to those exact characters, so that it sets the flag for the game's going to be completed and you're going into the Hall of Fame. So depositing the Pokemon was just so I only have one Pokemon in the Hall of Fame, so that sequence actually goes faster. But yeah, that was Pokemon Fire Red, any percent without any manips. This skip was actually only found like less than a year ago. It's actually really new. This was the last old Pokemon game that wasn't broken, and we finally broke it last year. So the really old Pokemon games have been very broken for quite some time. So for everybody here in the crowd as well, we're actually running like an interactive station just behind you on the right. And if anybody wants to come up in like 15 minutes right after my run, I can teach anybody here how to beat the original games in 5 minutes. And I promise you, I can teach anybody. It is so easy and very fun. So stay involved with that if you want. Otherwise, just keep watching, tune into the event, donate when you can. Love yous all. Legends.
Alright, that was Pokemon Fire Red by Werster. Up next, we got Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage reignited by Clock District with Bone Dance. And that is also the end of my hosting shift, so thank you very much for having me, guys. And tune in for the next couple of runs. Not many to go.
Hey AusSpeedruns community, I'm Steph from the Game on Cancer team at Cure Cancer. I wanted to say a huge thank you for all your generosity and support over the past 2 years. In that time, the AusSpeedruns community has raised more than $100,000 for Cure Cancer. These crucial funds help kickstart bright new ideas from emerging researchers across Australia to find cures for all different types of cancer. If you'd like to learn more about the cancer research projects your donations have funded, you can visit our website. Thanks again for your ongoing support and enjoy the stream.
Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to AusSpeedruns DreamHack 2024. My name is Anhedonic, sorry, got my own name wrong. Pronouns he, anyone had updated on my screen, don't I? So yeah, we are AusSpeedruns. We're a group that we do speedrunning events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for Game on Cancer, which is a charity which funds early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research. And if you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com. Cool, so right now we're about to start our run for Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage Reignited with runner Clock District. Yeah. Let me know when you're ready to go and I'll hit start on the timer if there's anything else you want me to say beforehand. Oh yeah, cool.